a very good side. I mean, very good individual players within a collective team effort. So we know they bring lots of energy, they bring lots of quality, and again, similar to the rest of the MLS games, every game's a tough game, and so we know that we're going to have to be at our best to go and try and win a tough game. But we certainly believe we're capable of doing that.
Do you know a bit about the history of the fixture? It's kind of a traditional rivalry, with always quite heated.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, I mean, what's been before is before. You can't affect what's been before, but you certainly get into the game knowing that it's the same 3 points available as it is in the MLS every week. But we're at home, and we want to continue, obviously, in the manner from the last performance, getting the 3 points, scoring goals. But to do that, as I said before, we have to understand individually they're going to have to be their best, and collectively within our team, bringing our best qualities to the game. Because as I said before, this is a very good side. A side that made the playoffs last year, and they've added to the squad. Obviously Rogers came in as well, Espinosa, who I know very well, and a terrific player. So we certainly know they've got very good players. Dwyer, Nemeth, Suzic. They've good attacking players throughout the team. The midfield, obviously, Phil Harbour there as well, and Savander Carrasco, who we know was at the club as well. So yeah, there's always. Every game always throws up little ironies. I think we know that, the competitive edge between the two clubs and everything else. But that's what it is. And week to week in MLS, every game's a very competitive game against good sides, and we'll treat it that way.
This is a game that the players at least have kind of come to see as a rivalry. What are I know you've been a part of some good ones in England. What were some of your good memories from some of those derbies?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, any derby game, if it, it's slightly different, I've got to say, back home, because our derbies normally take place with clubs within a 10-mile radius. Yeah. So it's slightly different in the US in terms of but I certainly understand rivalries, and again, the players certainly know. They're certainly far more experienced in this fixture than I am. It's my first time against Sporting Kansas, but it's a game I'm looking forward to. We've seen them. They were at Arizona at the same time as us, and we've seen them training at a high level. We've seen them playing in games, and we know they've got good players, a good team led by a very good coach, Peter Vermees. So again, the rivalry will be what it is. The bottom line is that we have to make sure that we play the game, and we look to control that ball as we have done in previous matches, and that'll be the key for us.
Does it surprise you how poorly they've done this season so far, given that they've got Peter Vermees, they've got Matt Beasley, Graham Zusi, all those good players? Is that surprising?
Well, I would take issue in saying that they're doing poorly. I think far from it. I think they're in that mix with 6 or 7 other teams. So, Sporting Kansas is a very good side. They showed that last week. I felt it was very unfortunate that LA Galaxy lost a very late goal, but the performance certainly was worthy of a positive result. So we know that they'll come in good heart, as I said before, as you mentioned there, led by a very good coaching staff, and they've got good players on the pitch. So the bottom line is, it's the game. It's going to be a tough game, but again, it's a game we're ready for, and very respective of the qualities that they have.
Do you feel like the team's playing second halves better than first halves at the moment?
Our team?
Yeah.
We
dangerous in the second half games than the first half.
I think the nature of the league is that obviously every game is a very tight game, and sometimes games eventually open up. I would take issue with that. I thought we were outstanding last week in the first half. So that's only my perception. Now you might have a different view on it, but we felt aggrieved to 1-0 down at half time, and I can't say that I've looked back and thought you're playing better in one half than the other. We look at it as a collective, 95 minutes or whatever it is, and what we bring to the game. And you've got to understand at the level we play at that there'll be different times that other teams will have possession because you're playing good teams. So you've got to understand the nature of the game. The important thing is that when you do get the ascendancy in the game, that you capitalise on that. And that's always the key to any game. When you're in the top, trying to make sure you get the goals to go with your play. And if you do that more often than not, it results in positive points.
You get Boniek Garcia back today. What's kind of the progress? I mean, is he ready to go?
No, he's back in. He's come in, as you say, and he took part, but he's not 100% yet. He's still feeling that a little bit. But the great thing is we're able just to keep him top of the fitness side of it, and we made sure that in terms of he didn't put too much exertions on with a lot of injuries and tweaks. So as you've seen, he did a lot of straight running, but not necessarily twisting and turning, and that's obviously the discomfort he's getting when he tries to twist and turn quickly, as you would have to do in a game situation. But he is improving on a daily basis, and again, hopefully tomorrow he comes back in and there's no reaction to today's session, and then we try and step up a little bit more. But there's no doubt he's still a major doubt for Saturday.
First week of training from Alex. What have you seen from him so far?
Well, we've seen what we knew. I mean, he's a very good technical player, and that's why obviously that we did the trade for 2 reasons. Obviously, to give JJ the opportunity to get his career going again as well, and Alex is the same thing. So he comes in, good technical player, can certainly add to the squad we've got. And as I said, I've been pleased with the quality he's brought to the training, and I've been pleased with his attitude. He's a good lad. He's already an integral part of the group. The lads have really taken to him, and that will go as well for moving forward.
You've been consistently creating chances now, like a lot of chances every game. How do you turn those into goals? Would you rather create less chances and score more goals?
No, you can. No, the time to worry is when you're not creating chances. And the important thing is, as I said, we want to be creative. Of course we do. And but I mean, I think it's 4 goals in the last 2 games. So if you would average that out, you wouldn't have a problem there. We're playing against good teams every week, and good teams don't give you up too many chances. That's for sure. And we're trying to do the same at the other end, and that's why we've restricted very good opponents to a few goals against us. And even if we look at those goals, an own goal, a free kick from 30 yards last week, and probably 2 errors that would accept ourselves, we could have did better in those situations. So that's what every opponent tries to do with us, to limit those opportunities. The thing for us moving forward is that we look still to be very positive in our attacking sense, but equally looking to make sure that we don't give too much up at the back. So it's getting that fine balance. And as I say, we're operating at a very high level. One of the top leagues going anywhere now in the world, and within that comes qualities from opposition, and one of those is that they try and restrict you. What we have to do, what you've mentioned, is when we create those chances, being ruthless, being clinical in front of goal, and when you do that, it certainly results in goals.
What do you attribute the change in possession from the Montreal Impact game, where the Dynamo were outpossessed 2-1, to actually having a more equal amount of possession against DC United?
Well, I mean, I would take issue, with the possession to begin with. At the end of the day, statistics and everything else are, they're there to make whatever you want to make of them. Somebody can have 70% possession in a game and create very few chances. It's what you actually do with your possession. That's what counts in a game. And if you have that possession that results in goal scoring opportunities, then that's what you do. I mean, if that's the figure that the possession was in the Montreal game, I don't recall too many instances when they play. I think Tyler had 1 save in the first half. I don't really recall too many times when they threatened us that it would be to our detriment. So if people have possession, passing the ball across the back for the sake of passing, then that's up to them. We focus on what we can do, and whether you have 60% possession, 40%, 30%, the important thing is what you do with it, and that's what we try to make sure that when we've got the ball, we're trying to be purposeful in it, and we're trying to have attacking entries in that final third at the end of it. Won't always happen, but that's how we set out to go about it.
Good deal. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, pleasure. Thanks. Thank you very much.